Chapter 13. Self-esteem. I suppose it was my experience of escaping from the clutches of depression that made me very sensitive to other people's idea of themselves. It is a very dismal fact that the underloved child grows up thinking it was his, her fault. That if only they had been better, they would have been loved more. Which is why so many of such children become so nice. They want everybody to like them. Nobody must be upset because, having been under-approved, they are left with an approval hunger. Byrne put it very graphically. He said that if you suffered a shortage of psychological vitamins as a child, you spent the rest of your life looking for them. When I talk to these nice people about their family lives, I am usually told that parents, and Mum in particular, did everything for us, which usually means that although all material needs were very adequately looked after, the same could not be said for their emotional needs, which can only be met by much hugging, gentleness and encouragement. Which brings me to another point. We really make two judgments about ourselves, one concerning our idea of our innate value, and the other of our ability to cope when we set out to do something new. Too much criticism and scolding can deprive someone of their ability to have a go, their outgoing behaviour being entirely constrained by a fear of failure. Encouragement can help to overcome this, but low self-esteem is another matter. Assuming that someone has a very bad opinion of himself, that someone might be all too aware of his feeling of uselessness. Talk to any depressive, or it might be buried, perhaps in the inaccessible recesses of the right hemisphere. Thus, these unfortunate individuals are carrying around within them truths so awful that they must be hidden. It is as if to reveal them would mean disaster or perhaps death. I imagine that evolutionary forces work like this because if children were assessed as being useless, they might be allowed to die. I'm guessing, of course, but there has to be a reason for such a powerful internal mechanism. But not only is the individual protected from knowing himself, he will also make every effort to prevent anyone else from finding out either, which means, among other things, that psychology and psychologists are out. Psychology is rubbish, and in any case he doesn't know what he's talking about, is characteristic. And then there are the behaviours designed to invalidate the inward negative, the need to dominate, to be superior, to be one-up. The inability to apologise to that would mean that one was less than perfect and put the other in a position of superiority. Never. A habit of criticism which puts the other down is another example of compensatory behaviours that arise spontaneously. They are not the result of deliberation, and from the few examples I have given, there is a total absence of fun in the lives of these people. They often have difficulty in distinguishing between tenderness and sexuality, and so make bad lovers and are not good at sex. But they still need to be dominant in relationships. You may feel I've gone on a bit about these very damaged people, but there are a lot of them about, and on the whole, they are very angry men and women.